friends, it's Belinda and I'm here today with my first project for 2024, which is also my first project for the Confessions of a Paper Addict design team. Today it is going to be a super simple, quick and easy traveler's notebook layout. I'm using one part of the starry-eyed cut file, which is an older cut file that you can still find in the store. I have gone ahead and cut that, it's just the solid star pieces out of some white cardstock, and I have cut it down to the size that I use in my traveler's notebook, which I believe is 4.25 inches by 8 and 1/8 of an inch, I think. That's just the size of my particular notebook. So I have cut those out on my silhouette. I've mirrored the image because I'm going to use one on each side of the spread. And then I've grabbed this pattern paper. I'm using a Rosie Studio collection here. This is a peachy colored patterned paper, and I'm just going to apply just a really small bit of wet adhesive behind. You can see that I've cut that pattern paper down just slightly smaller, only very slightly smaller than the white cardstock that the stars are cut out of. And I just really want to secure this in place lightly. I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and add a stitched border around each of those pages. Now, of course, that's not totally necessary, but I do love the added texture that the stitching lends to my traveler's notebook spreads. So these photos are from New Year's Day a few years ago now, where my husband and I were lucky enough to have a hotel stay in the city. I think this was 2021, so it was just post COVID. So it was a big deal for us to be able to get out and have some time together and have a couple of delicious cocktails. So these photos were taken on New Year's Day at the rooftop bar of the hotel that we stayed at. Because it is New Year's, I thought I would like to kick things off with some New Year's photos. I have not even looked at the photos from New Year's this year. It was a rather large one for us. So I went back and had a look, and I had these in a traveler's notebook that I hadn't made yet. So I've got the main photo of me on drinking a cocktail, and then two smaller photos. There's probably about 2 inches by 1 inch, those smaller photos there. And I have just backed them onto some patterned paper. I've chosen 2 different pattern papers. The larger photo on the left has got a beautiful rainbow diagonal stripe pattern, and the photos on the right I've used a black and white floral. And the reason I chose that is because you can see in that larger photo that my dress is black and white, so I wanted to sort of tie the 2 elements together. And I have already gone ahead and been through the embellishment packs and all the different assorted embellishments that came in this Rosie Studio collection, and pulled out some pieces that I thought would work well with this particular spread. I'm keeping my color palette. I was going to say it's fairly simple, but it's probably not. There's quite a few different colors. I've got some black and whites. I've got that peach in the background because it sort of went really well with the tone of the photos. It was a late afternoon sun, so there was a really nice, beautiful, warm glow to the light. And then I've also chosen some embellishments that have a yellow, a blue and a pink, which were featured fairly prominently across this collection. So those little rosette die cuts are just gorgeous, and I loved adding those at the top and bottom of those 2 photos. I've got a little puffy sticker there that says "Oh Happy Day." And because I had the yellow in 2 places on the right hand side, I knew that I needed to bring it into the page on the left. So I grabbed this stamp set, which is a New Year's Eve stamp set. It's a few years old now. It comes with some coordinating dies, and I went through my inks, found a yellow ink that matched the colors in the collection pretty closely, and I've used that stamp set and the die to cut out my title, which is "Cheers to the New Year." To the new year, I've just used some black ink. And I have also typed up my journaling on my typewriter, and I'm going to adhere that down. I did also stamp that piece from an entirely different stamp set, which is a scripty font saying "Having fun together," and I knew that I wanted to include that as well, but I couldn't quite figure out where I wanted it to go. So I thought I would actually make it part of the journaling. So you've got the first part of my journaling up the top there. Then you're going to have that stamped piece that says having fun together, and then finishing off with just perfect. So that stamped piece kind of becomes a part of my journaling. And then to add a little bit of something extra, you're not going to see this on camera, but you will see it in the close-up photos at the end of the video. I do go back to my sewing machine and add a row of stitching along the middle of each of those black stamped sentiments. I did also stamp that little geotag flag that says here that you can see over to the right. I thought about putting that somewhere onto the page, but it didn't quite make it. And the only reason I did that is because I knew that I had this chipboard piece here that said happy heart, and I thought I would want to replicate the tag or the flag shape somewhere else, which I do, but I just go for another one of the chipboard flags that were in the collection. And I've chosen that navy blue because, as you can see, the top left of my photo, I tucked a little stamp die cut piece there, which has also got some navy blue in it. And then to finish it off, I've grabbed my bowl of die cut teeny tiny sprinkly confetti stars, and I'm just pulling out a whole bunch of gold glitter stars, and I'm just going to add them in 3 different places around my photos. So once I have got those stars down, that is it. Of course, there are some close-up photos coming at the end in just a moment. I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love for you to go ahead and leave me a comment or give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join me on all of my upcoming paper crafting adventures. I will leave it there for now and say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.